What's up, everyone? Today I want to just talk freely about my reflections. When you are living a life of awareness, when you're living consciously, you naturally become more sensitive and perceptive to many things in your life. You pick up on things that people don't normally see. For example, I really cannot resonate with this idea that our whole life path from birth to death is already laid out in front of us. That we are supposed to go to school at a certain age, graduate, and go to college and graduate that with lots of debt, and then find an employment, get married, get into mortgage, buy a house, and then pay it off until you die and you can finally live your life at retirement. That's the track that many people are on, right? And what makes you say that, just because you get married and you choose to have children, that you're going to be happy ever after? Isn't it the fact that like over 50% of the marriage ends up in divorce, and people break up? And even people who do not go separate ways, what makes you think that everything is perfectly in their life? There could be situations that you don't see where marriage and all that, like even having children, raising children, could be a trap. Because once you get to that stage, it becomes more difficult for you to get out of the laid out path that's in front of you. I saw all the stuff, growing up, it was almost like an anomaly. I saw, this is not right, what is the point? I thought it through, completely. I decided to not pursue that path. 4 years ago, I just decided to just pack everything up and head to the mountains in Costa Rica. Set up a self-sustainable community and a homestead, live off the land. But that trip was not easy for me either. Yes, at the beginning there was a certain level of excitement that I'm leaving the city life behind and I'm going on this new adventure, so that comes with a certain level of excitement. But it also came with a lot of challenges, unforeseen challenges. The fact that I had to choose a different path, it didn't sit well with my family. I come from a conservative household. I had a certain expectations of I had to do certain things at a certain age. So it took a lot of guts and energy to go against that. At the beginning, there's lots of friction. And now there's not so much friction because my parents and my family, they know that they cannot persuade me. I'm on my own path. My path is what I created to be. I have good relationship with them still. I never had a strained relationship with them, but those things still take a toll on you to fight against it. Not only that, going to a new place came with its challenges too. I didn't speak the language of Spanish. I trusted people, and then I got taken advantage of. And recently it came to a point, yes, I had the land, I had everything, and I started to question myself, is this it? I almost wanted to go back to the city. A couple of weeks ago, before I came to Toronto, I was just saying, I don't want to do this anymore. I had enough. I want to go back to the city and restart my business and all that. But God has His own way of teaching you lessons. And now I had the opportunity to come back to the city. I manifested it. And I realized that nothing resonates with me in the city. like how constrictive everything is. Like, you live in a home, but you can't really do anything. Like, there's so much restrictions about what you can do and what you cannot do in the city. Like, there's the bylaw regulations. You cannot burn, you cannot start fire. Like, there's lots of restrictions like that, right? Like, you got to do certain things at certain places, and then there's neighbors everywhere. Like, mind you that I live in the mountain, like there's no neighbors near me, so I got used to just walking around naked. And then now all of a sudden all that stuff is gone. So it made me realize, like, how constrictive the city space is, and people are not even aware of that. They think this is it. And some people, and even in some places like Hong Kong, I was watching some videos where like 20 to 30 people live in 10 square meter of space. So that's like in a closet, like 20 people live, and they share the bathroom. That's because in places like Hong Kong, the living cost, like the housing cost, to be able to afford a home, you need to be earning up to 20 times your income. So people have this sense of surrender. They think this is it, and this is the way they need to go about it. They just have to shut up and then keep going, and that's all. And they never, like, dare to ask, like, hold on a minute, why am I living in this constricted space? The world is so huge. I don't know how big it is, honestly. I don't have the measurements, but I'm sure it's pretty big. More bigger. Even if you fit everyone in there, there's still going to be lots of land that's unused. Yes, I understand that there's all these geopolitical reasons. There's like people cannot cross the border, but even within their own country, in their own city, or wherever they are at, they can go to the farmlands. They can go to the countryside and seek a different style of living. So I realized that, like, I came back to the city. I thought, like, see if there's anything that I resonate with. Nada. I don't resonate with anything. So I learned my lesson. I thank God for this opportunity to serve me as a reminder of what my purpose is. As I head back to Costa Rica in a couple of days, I'm more confident in my ability, and also I have a clearer conviction of what I want to do. Before, I was going on my purpose, like, one leg here, one leg there, 50% effort. But now I'll be going back with 100% effort, because that is the way to live, living off the land, having your own space, living in nature, touching the soil, not being in this cold climate, having sun shining on you all the time. I can't even hold my hand. I can't even hold my phone with the one hand. I have to keep switching back and forth because that's how cold it is today. Whew. Anyways, I wanted to make this a quick reflection video. So if you're out there, you feel like you don't resonate with life, and you feel like, you cannot find people who are on the same wavelength as you, don't let that be the reason for you to go back and live small. Plan your exit, find people online, put yourself out there, and things will fall into place. You just have to trust the universe. Walk your path, even though only you see it and others may not see it. That's the beauty of walking your path. Only the perceptor can see it. Until next time, my friends, be fearless.